I was really like a chameleon. I can actually shift my attention. I can be anyone I like, to make friends and all. And it wasn't like I was pretending as such. I can truly be that person. I can experience and be someone, anyone I like.
You did not experience duality, light, dark, good, bad, all of that. You were outside of that context. You lived outside of duality because of the level of consciousness of these cultures. And we will say that you wanted to come here with a broader vision and perspective to raise the consciousness of the planet. And however, there was some naivete in this decision, not fully understanding how and difficult Earth energies can be. And so you did choose to come in order to be a light bringer, a pillar, a door opener, one who holds open a doorway for higher energies to enter, and truth and wisdom.
There's no fear of the outcome in me. I do not care what happens, essentially. It was innate nature. So that enabled me to experience what society called vices as such, to experience what it feels like being that person and then come back, and then experience what it feels like the other person on the other spectrum and then come back. And that gave me a very good perspective about people, why they are the way they are.
We love many ascended masters. Chuck's guru is Osho. Do you know Osho, Sri Rajneesh?
Yes. And he's quite ahead of his time. He was not well accepted as such in India back then, because his ideas were quite ahead of the mindset back then in India, but he was quite transformative. But he was received well by Western mindset, which has evolved back then to that level. I feel that was his energy. He was supposed to be transformative that way, but that energy is supposed to bring resistance, the energy he was bringing in, and that's what he faced throughout. But that was his calling, that was his nature.
Yes.
I can understand why he was like that.
We love him very much. We appreciate all the ascended masters. Our understanding from Judah is that we are all headed into our own experience of being an ascended master. So we revere and honor them, and we also look inward to see the master in ourselves.
You are the ascended master you are speaking, to be honest. Yeah, you have to see that, and it'll come on its time. My experience is you cannot be your true self through willpower. It'll come on its own when the time is right. It's just, till then, it's all experience. The whole universe wants to experience being Anj, being AJ, being Ajay, every character. So yeah, that experience will go on. So our job is to actually live every moment to contribute to that experience. Yeah, the thing will come on its own whenever it needs to.
Yeah, our sweet friend Gautam, he likes to come around and hang out with us, and he likes for me to channel Babaji. I keep telling him, you are Babaji. You are Babaji. You carry this.
Exactly. Shift your attention to being Babaji, and you are Babaji. He's another viewpoint of you.
Yeah. So we tease him when he comes in the house. We say, hi, Babaji, because
he's so
going to be
attached
with Babaji, and we're saying, no, you are Babaji.
His attention is at the moment on the concept that I am different from Babaji, and that's part of his experience, and that's how we want to live. It's a matter of attention, shifting your attention.
Well, tell me what's going on with you.
Nothing. I just felt intuitively that I need to talk to Judah. That's what brought me. No strong reason. I may ask some question, but otherwise, I'll go with the moment. I'll go with the flow.
Yeah, good. Well, it's an honor. All right. Well, just fire away. Anything you want to ask Judah.
All right, cool. The first one is, hello, Judah. It's really nice to be in your presence.
Yes, same here. We agree. We are happy to be with you.
Great.
We're thankful that you established this communication.
Likewise. So firstly, I want to know if you're okay sharing my galactic identity, mainly who am I? I totally feel that I'm a much more expanded version of myself. I can feel that part in me, and I have some sort of like past life galactic presence. So would you mind sharing anything that you can see?
Yes, you have a lot of galactic history, my dear. Yes, you came from by way of Lyran, the Lyran people, and then through a Syrian experience as well. And in your Syrian experience, you had many important connections and working relationships with Pleiadians. And there is more to tell, but that is your circuitous pathway, Lyran to Syrian, and then into your human experience. As many starseeds, you have had many different experiences, being an old soul, and of course, choosing and trying on these different experiences. And just as the different places in which you've lived and people that you knew and interacted with in those places have influenced the person that you are today, also, of course, these experiences, lifetimes that you had in other locations or civilizations, races, influence the type of soul that you are. And you chose in this incarnation to be incarnated in the beautiful heritage of India because of its rich spiritual inheritance, which of course you also know and understand is rife with many influences which are defunct and unimportant, and you came to rectify much of this. And please proceed with your questions.
Yes, and that's on that front, as you're saying. Yeah, you always used to feel as I was born in India, I was quite different from everyone around me in the sense that from the very childhood, I could not understand personally why people feel one way because I can feel pretty much everyone's emotion around me and why they act the other way. Like, why is there so much pretense? It was really hard for me to understand when I was a child. And I was growing, I was really like a chameleon. I can actually shift my attention. I can be anyone I like to make friends and all. And it wasn't like I was pretending as such. I can truly be that person. I can experience and be someone, anyone I like. And yeah, I was just saying I was quite different in the environment. Pretty much everyone in my family, they were quite different in the sense. So yeah, I was wondering, like, how I'm born in this like little bit of alien. I used to smile sitting with myself like, why am I here? What's the purpose? What's happening? So yeah,
Let's explore that.
Yeah, so I was wondering, like, what was the? I know you're saying that, like, I think sometime you as being focus your attention on a particular area or story, and you may not be different from that surroundings, but your purpose there is to actually alter or uplift those surroundings by just being there. You may not have to do anything; just by presence, I think you can affect the area that you're in. So what's your view? Like, why did I chose that particular area? Which was, like I said, completely different from how I was. Yeah, I remember.
Yes, we will say that in some of your experiences in your star families, your Lyran and Syrian families, you did not experience duality, light, dark, good, bad, all of that. You were outside of that context. You lived outside of duality because of the level of consciousness of these cultures. And we will say that you wanted to come here with a broader vision and perspective to raise the consciousness of the planet. And however, there was some naivete in this decision, not fully understanding how dense and difficult Earth energies can be. And so you did choose to come in order to be a light bringer, a pillar, a door opener, one who holds open a doorway for higher energies to enter, and truth and wisdom and higher vibrations. And this is a state of beingness. It is not particularly tied to an action or function or role in the world. It is just you being who you are, your higher enlightened self. And you, as we said, chose India because of its rich heritage, but also because you understood that there were many defunct and unimportant, many idols, many distractions, many these idols and religious thinking and dogma pointing people away from the self and to outward experiences that are meaningless and away from what is meaningful. And so you desired this. Also, you had a curiosity. It was difficult for you to fathom why persons would buy into or accept or believe or embrace these strategies and practices which were very meaningless in your mindset. And so part of your reason for coming was to satiate this curiosity about how humans buy into these ways of thinking. They come into spiritual blindness, we would say. And so you desire to understand them and their experience, and also open their eyes to the degree that you were able, which you do, of course, with all those you come in contact with. Yes, and this is why you were so intuitive even as a child, and you have always been in this lifetime actively engaged in being a mirror for others, in which they can look and behold their own inner workings, which is why you tended to be as a chameleon and adapt yourself to the one that you were making a connection with, feeling their sorrow or their sadness or their arrogance or whatever the case may be. I see that one of the gifts you have is when people are wearing a mask, they have some sort of like an ego facade that's not who they really are, that you're able to crack this mask so that a little light can get in and they can begin to become aware of that they're wearing a mask.
And that has been you can say, my attribute from the beginning, where I can make other person totally comfortable because I can feel who they are without judgment. Like I can really feel and be like, and I don't see anyone doing anything wrong from that perspective. I said, like, I would do the same if I would be them, and sometimes people used to misunderstand me, like, oh, when you are with that person, you think that that person is right. When you're with me, you think that I am right as well. I said, like, that's how I feel because both of you are right. In the sense, if I become you, I would not do anything else what you have done. You are absolutely right what you're doing. And if I become them, the thing is you have to understand the background story totally. You have to not be you to totally understand the other person. If you are you, you'll always judge because you are looking from your story. So yeah, that's what enabled me to actually enter the people. But at the same time, I can say things to them which may sound like quite straight in the sense, but as you said, it breaks open their persona and their thing because I've entered them. I truly understand them. They know that I've understood them. It's because most people resist you if they feel that you have not understood them, because it's like, yeah. But once you have entered them, yes, you may sound a bit assertive and harsh, but they know that you understand them and your words are not felt as badly as such from my understanding.
Yes, dear. And this is a beautiful gift that you have to tell the truth. There are many who are false, we will say, in the spiritual space, in that they are willing to say what uplifts and encourages others, but not willing to tell the truth about the more uncomfortable truths that seem combative, confrontive, or even disciplinarian. And you can do this because there is no judgment, and it can be highly effective to separate people from their ego identities. Yes?
So the retreat center is really close to our mountain house. And one day, a couple summers ago, I was laying out on the deck in the sun and just meditating. And I felt Guru Dev's presence just invade. And I was schnockered. I was stuck to the deck. I couldn't pick up my arms or my head or my legs. It's like this divine weight of Guru Dev just flattened me on the deck. It was so sweet. I just feel his presence, and I was just like communing and talking with him, and he was just pouring out this grace and these blessings, You could really feel his presence all over that whole area out there. It's such a pure, clean, energetic place.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is going to be so magical. Anyone who wants to tap in truly to their higher self, higher guidance, the angels, the God, like all of it, we are going to bring our wands. It's going to be like a little Hogwarts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The people that are coming, they're going to be practicing their magic, finding their magic, and going home feeling like, oh, I know how to do this stuff now of connecting with my higher self, being able to distinguish the real self, the soul, from the false self and what everybody says and thinks about you, and really unleashing that with the purity of being who and what you really are.
The other thing that is just so cool, I know it's so beautiful over there, and the people that this draws in, I feel like our hearts are going to be just blown open.
Oh yeah. Thousands upon thousands of people come to this place from all over the world, and just this whole land and area is just soaked with meditation and love and gratitude, and the scenery is unbelievable. Like the place where we'll sit outside to eat our meals overlooks this unbelievable treed gorge, and the mountains are just so beautiful there.
It's enchanting. It really is going to be an enchanting, life-changing experience. I'm so grateful to do this with with you, we are gonna open up minds, open up hearts, and like next level of experience.
Yeah, and just going from thinking that you might maybe know what your higher self sounds like to actually experiencing, oh, this is what my higher self feels like and sounds like when it's moving through me, and really feeling that connection. And also for people that want to learn how to channel or meet their angels and guides for the first time, or really want to ramp up their channeling, this is going to be a great time. We're going to practice and work together actually channeling for one another.
So fun. We're going to have so much fun. It's going to be one of the most fun experiences. I can already feel it.
A family reunion for the family you didn't know that you had yet.
Yes, family reunion.
Meeting friends from all over the world and making some really good new friends.
And really good food. You got to stay. The rooms are beautiful and the food, it's all there.
The food is outstanding. They have 3 buffets every day that are chef prepared vegetarian, and they are out of this world. The food is so good. And then there's also in the afternoon, there's going to be time for Reiki sessions, meditation, yoga, a massage.
And we're doing this, it's June 13th to the 15th.
Yes, it's Father's Day weekend, and we're going to have a blast. The weather is amazing that time of year in the mountains. And it's about an hour and a half from the Charlotte airport.
Yeah.
So tell me what you're going to bring, Julie.
I'm laughing. I'm like, my magic wand. No.
Yes.
We're definitely going to be teaching some really cool techniques. Definitely my pendulum. I will be bringing myself.
Yes, most important.
And I feel like, just openness, tuning into this energy. I was saying I can already feel when we start Friday night, this just really surreal, very special light energy from everyone there. And it's going to be otherworldly. It's experiential. You and I, we are not we're just going to teach it and that. No, it's like, you got to learn how to do this yourself. This is so important.
Yeah, this is not a kind of retreat where you're going to get talked at and listen to the teacher and think, oh gosh, I wish I could possibly maybe one day learn how to do that. No, it's going to be everybody empowered, all of us equanimous, equals together as brothers and sisters, elevating our consciousness together.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We obviously, as infinite spirit, we live in the body. Our spirit is immortal, infinite, and we live in this body that a lot of us don't always know how to balance, how to connect to our energy wheels, the chakras. And we are going to do grounding and also alignment with our chakras through meditation, through an activation. We're going to have so much fun. This is also very transformative. So don't be surprised if all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I've got something I have to say. And maybe you start channeling, or you have a song, or your book comes out of you while you're there. Seriously, we are going to create the intention of powerful healing and transformation using our chakras. You and I together, we're going to teach some amazing tools for how to access your intuition and your higher guidance, and really to connect with your higher self, the guidance that will always be here, always guiding you for your highest good and all those you're here to serve and work with. And it's natural. And many of us were not taught that. So we're going to help you to really access it. You're going to come away, though, knowing your own power. This is about you accessing your own power and having the tools to do that. And we're going to help you experience it from many different modalities. So you really are initiation, experiential, graduation, and then frankly, having a full suitcase of tools that you can use at the drop of a hat.
I love it that you understood that you weren't being duplicitous or false by agreeing with both parties. And I love that you could hear your friends or your colleagues, confronting you, but you knew the truth of why you were doing what you were doing. I love that.
Yeah, I can be them and then talk to them. It's very different energy. When you can be someone and talk to them, it's like they are talking to them, or a part of them is talking to them, which they have suppressed. I think it feels like that to them, which they understand. Or that's why I think I was able to, as you said, interact and influence with many people to affect them in the sense in my lifetime, which I'm grateful about. Another thing I experienced, Judah, is in my life, I have gone to extreme of every experience from the childhood. Like, even if, for example, whatever that experience is, like whatever our society norms, the boundaries, I do not care about those boundaries. I experience everything to the end of its spectrum and then come back. It's easy for me to come back. For example, I can be, in, say, smoking weed as an example, let's say, I'll experience that, what it is like being someone who do that totally.
Mhm.
And then suddenly one day I'll just leave everything completely and come back. So,
Yes.
and that has been my life for everything, because I think that later I understood, because from the very childhood, I used to be a person who follow heart. Even if I want, I cannot suppress my heart, my deep intuition. I
Mm.
just have to do it irrespective of the outcome. There's no fear of the outcome in me. I do not care what happens, essentially. It was innate nature.
Mhm.
So that enabled me to experience what society call vices as such, to experience what it feel like being that person and then come back, and then experience what it feels like the other person on the other spectrum and then come back. And that gave me a very good perspective about people, why they are the way they are, what kind of mental chatter, which never affected me as much. Mental
Mhm.
chatter actually influenced them, and they can't get out of it in addictions and all sorts of things. So I think, I don't know, my life's story was to experience everything to the fullest, deepest.
Exactly. And this, Judah's taught us this, that we don't need to be a saint or a sinner, a good, bad, angel, demonic. It doesn't really matter. We just be who and what we are. We can be both the Krishna and the Arjuna at once.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, exactly. And so that's beautiful. That is why what you're speaking about is why a very highly enlightened soul like yourself would come from another place like Sirius and Lyra, because there isn't the opportunity to experience the good, bad, right, wrong, and the whole they don't have that experience of duality, saint, sinner, and all that. So that's why one of the main reasons why you came, and it sounds like you've done a great job with it. And what's so beautiful about what you're sharing, I wish everybody could hear this, because we can trust people to go through their journey, so we don't have to think that because somebody is taking drugs, that's some horrible thing. It's just
It's an
them.
experience. It's
Yeah.
a story. And if I be that person, I feel that I would do the same, because
Sure.
if I'm judging another person, what happens is I'm looking at the story from my story's viewpoint, which is not true observation. You are already being biased because you already have put on a mask of your story. If you truly have to understand a story, another person, you have to enter it by being nobody. So to be everybody, you have to be nobody first. And that's what I think people miss. They can't afford to be nobody. And from the nobody viewpoint, you can totally, absolutely understand every person, why they are like that. There's no judgment at all.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, and Judah's showing me that. Let's see if they can tell me where. So they're also showing me that one of the reasons why you're so gifted at this is because you had a lifetime and an Andromedan lifetime where you were able to shape shift, and so you would shift from being one being into being another, a totally different being, and then back to yourself or to another being. And so that was just part of your nature and how you were wired. And so it's really intuitive for you to shape shift in order to relate to the situation, in order to bring enlightenment and insight to people. And that's a good thing. In the human experience, most people who do that, it's more out of the ego-driven fear that they want to fit in with
Exactly.
somebody
So
or
that's
to,
always a transaction, right? With people, what happens is I want to understand you because I want to transact maybe in relationship. I want love back from you. I want to transact in terms of you have, for example, some sort of aligned interest with me, financial or whatever. So there's always a transaction. I've not met anybody who just like to be the other person for the sake of being the other person, to understand, not to have, there is no agendaless aspect I see in people. Like there's always an agenda.
yes,
And even relationship is an agenda in my view. I don't see it as pure. There is a need that someone give me their attention and their love, or whatever you want to call that, I think. And that's in my understanding, that's a transaction as well. Absolute true love is unconditional. Like I am love, I don't love, I am love. And just for the sake of that love, I am with you. I do not expect anything from you. My love is unconditional. You're here, I love you the same. You're not here, I love you the same. It's totally your choice. Be with me or not be with me. These are natural aspects, I would say. I didn't have to struggle to understand these aspects from the beginning. They're just part of me to some extent.
exactly, which is the gift of your galactic heritage. But for people here, it's brand new information.
Yeah, it's quite taxing because they have always lived in transactional mindset. Always, there's always give and take, give and take. Yeah, which is an experience, and I don't judge that as well. I totally, like I said, when I become those people, I understand where they're coming from, and I would do the same if they have lived those lifetimes and that kind of mindset. So why would I judge you? Because I'm you. Yeah.
You have so see, you know, one of the primary gifts you're operating in now is just helping to make this crack in people's masks, their ego mask, to begin their process of realizing, oh, this is not me, this mask I'm wearing. And the other is you're really able to take, let's see, I want to make sure I say this right. You can take away whatever you perceive. Okay, so when you're talking with someone and you perceive whatever it is you're perceiving, maybe that they're angry, or you perceive a disease they have, whatever it is you perceive, what Judah wants you to know is you can take that away from them permanently from their experience. So, for example, if you met somebody, let's say, that always cheats on his wife, because you're so pure in your ability to understand why he's doing that, what his motivation is, and because you don't judge him at all, and you know that that's you and you could be doing that too, and all that because of how you are. When you see that and you become aware of it, you can take it away from him, and you can, by doing that, you can cleanse that from the entire storyline of his soul. So whatever the root, you know, motivation or experience it is that he's wanting to have through cheating on his wife, if it's holding him up in his evolution, you can just take it from him and you can clear it just by seeing it and perceiving it. I have very high level perception, and just know that whatever you see, you can subjugate, you can master it, you can eliminate it, you can change it, you can take it away from that person.
Thank you for that. Yes, I felt the same, but whenever I'm in someone's presence, it's not like I can feel them. I can giving them a window into my being as well. So they actually can feel, even subconsciously. Sometimes they're not conscious of it. That, as you said, when they feel me, they can let go of what they are holding on to, because they can feel that I am them from another viewpoint. And that's what dissolve it behind the scene, because of their attachment to an idea. That idea is gone because they can feel that that idea doesn't serve them.
This is a very high level of authority. It doesn't happen to me a lot, but when it does happen, what I say is, I'll say, you can leave that with me. So if they're sharing, you know, like it happened recently with a young woman I was working with, had been really viciously betrayed by someone. She was in a lot of emotional pain. And I just held her and I said, you can leave that with me. And she literally, the whole burden of all of it, and all her hurt, resentment, pain, she just left it with me. So you can do that as well. And you may feel prompted sometime to say, when someone's sharing, you can leave that with me.
And totally, I think what you're saying is how I do that is I feel that, and somehow the other person can get, I think either the subconscious and all, they get the message. Like I just feel, you know, like as you were saying, like from childhood, just give an example that like, you know, my parents used to ask me to, bow down to these gods figures and all, Krishna, Shiva and all. And I used to look at them, I was like, why? Like, this is like, I see them as I am them, to be honest. Like I look into their eye, they are my friends. I'm not like someone I bow down to. I see them as friends, like, you know, these figures from the early time. And then everyone used to feel strange why they bow down to. And as I was growing up, people used to think that, I don't used to say that, but I used to share some things with my wife, and she used to think, I have God syndrome, in the sense. I said, like, maybe you can say that, but I don't have any sort of stickiness to it. I was like, I don't feel that I'm God and you are not. I know you are as well. It's just that you don't want to see it. And I'm totally open to it.
When you get to this stage that you're at, to the people in the human race, they can perceive you to be a narcissist, right? But you're not. Because you just understand that you're the I am, as well as everyone else. You know, one of the things that was really revolutionary for me, now I came from a Christian heritage, so I didn't have all the background that you have with the Hindu culture. So in my 40s, I read the Bhagavad Gita for the first time. I read it 3 times. The first time I read it to understand the story. The second time I read it as if I was Arjuna. And the third time I read it as if I am Krishna. So when I look to the Bhagavad Gita, I am Krishna.
Yes.
I am Krishna. Your reality, I know you understand that on a deep level. You are Krishna. So then the task now is to recognize your Arjunas.
But how I see it, I don't have those, because I see myself, Judah or Ange, I see myself as witness. I neither am good, and neither am bad. I do not have any vices, neither I have any pride. I have nothing. I'm just a witness. I'm
Exactly.
here as presence to allow everything as such. So neither I cling on goodness nor badness, so I don't have any of I have the feeling that I have no karma, zero karma, because I'm not a doer. Karma comes with a doer. If you are not a doer, there is no karma.
Exactly. Yes, I agree with that. Judah agrees with that. You're not wrestling with any karma at all. There's no karmic debt for you to be paid. So you're really here to observe, to experience, also to wake up some people. So, the way I see, if you think about Arjuna and Krishna, right? Krishna was just some guy driving a chariot, just some guy, right? But then all of a sudden, he's not just some guy. He's the all. He's Krishna. And so this is how the universe is using you. And this is what your soul longs for. You're just a guy, right? Just a guy doing what guys do. And then for some people, their eyes will be opened and you will have a really transformative impact on them. Just like Krishna then was more than just the chariot driver, right? He totally rocked Arjuna's world and everything about his experience.
And the beauty is, the true transformation happens when you do not intend to change anything. For example, I do not intend to change Earth at all. I'm just here and I'm sharing my being. And that's what I wanted to ask Judah. I don't know, I want to express it. I being myself, just being present, resting in my true being, which is just pure witness, I'm contributing my being to the field, the Earth's field. So I'm affecting everything at any given point in time just by being, by altering the overall mindset of Earth collective consciousness, and which can be much more effective than actually speaking about something, which is one way of expression. But the most deepest expression is when you can be nobody and share your being. You can actually channel the all-pervasive consciousness into Earth's collective and just blast old beliefs and everything, and then just vanish.
Exactly. And Judah says yes to all of that. You absolutely understand. So the way you operate is actually more effective even than how I operate, because I'm still in the mechanisms of a digital business and a format and speaking and all of that. And really that is just another
it's another expression. It's beautiful as well, because we need all the expression to complete the whole. One expression is not beautiful. You need every kind of flower in the garden to complete the whole.
So Dr. David Hawkins was an enlightened being from the West, and he had been a psychologist and a doctor his whole life. And in the last 10, 15 years of his life, he's began studying consciousness very intently, and he was a fully enlightened being. He studied consciousness from a scientific standpoint with gold standard research through kinesiology. And I want to read you this because it's pretty cool. He says that one person at the level of mastery, such as yourself, counterbalances the negativity or the low frequency of 70 million people on the earth. This is just a scientific, factual confirmation of what you're saying. When you just be who you are, that counteracts or cancels out or neutralizes the negativity of 70 million people on the earth who live in fear, doubt, sadness, anger, pride. It cancels that out. So you literally are bringing the balance, where the world is so dark and dense in some areas with those, then your light, who you are, balances it back out. It's very important. And it's not task oriented. Just like me, the stuff that I do, like these sessions and teachings and all that, it's really not necessary. I could just clean and do my laundry and still have the same impact on the planet.
And how I see, totally agree with you, is like I see Earth as an experience. In this experience, you are absolutely important because you are giving a certain experience to the all-pervasive consciousness to awaken people from a certain lens. And then there are others who are awakening people from the other lens. It's all, if I feel it, and I see it as, the parts, all these parts are completing the whole. Not one is more important than the other. Each one of is a beautiful experience that's enabling the whole to experience what life is like, what it can become, its potential. And I'm one aspect of that potential. Like I said, just my lens is just to be, just to allow, just to be there. So I totally understand where you're coming from as well.
Yes. And we have a vision for humanity to live for all human beings, all of human consciousness to live in this type of flow and unity and peace and non-duality, all of the things that you are living, this will one day be commonplace. It will be the
Absolutely.
experience of Earth, which you
Yeah.
have already experienced in your Lyran and Syrian
Yeah.
and Andromedan experiences.
Yeah. And one thing I feel is, just want to share with Judah and just want to see their view. I feel like a lot of these galactic civilization sometime are coming to Earth, seeing that, oh, now they are not going towards right timeline and things are not right and they need to help and correct something. How I feel, if I look from my true being lens, is it is supposed to be this way. If you do not go out in a cold winter night, can you experience what a warm blanket is like? You can't totally experience it. So it's the dance of pure consciousness that it has to experience all the atrocities that we are talking about, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just another experience. So it has to fragment itself to such a deeper level so it can experience how it feels like being whole again. That gives you the biggest rush. That's the ultimate fun, if I look from that perspective. So do not come here that you need to correct something. Just allow what's going to unfold with your presence and with love. Absolute love. Acceptance and love are one and the same thing. People confuse that they are two different things. They are one and the same thing. You accept. From that acceptance place, feel what you need to do and you'll do the right thing. If you start with resistance, what is going on is not right. Whatever is going to come out of you is going to come from a place of resistance, which is not going to help it, to be honest. You can tend to make things worse eventually. So never come from the intention that you have to change anything. Come from the intention that you have to participate, and then you'll see the ultimate transformation in everyone, in you as well. It's not like you are coming here to transform and change anything from this planet's perspective. You are transforming yourself as well when you are actually coming here with that participation mindset. So it has to be participative mindset, not, oh, I'm going to come and change something. You're not going to change anything.
It's not a savior.
Not even changing. Like, but sometimes, like, I feel like, and because I can sense all these ships and everything in Earth's orbit and all, and they're watching everything and all, but many of them feel, oh, we have to bring Earth to the right timeline. It's a good viewpoint. Like, yeah, they're right. I can feel them as well, where they're coming from. And it's a message to them as well through Judah. You're not coming here to correct anything. You're coming here to participate. Just let go of any resistance that anything is wrong. If you participate, everything will be beautiful. Everything is perfect from the holistic sense. Everything has been thought through. Everything is going exactly the way it is supposed to go. You're here to participate, not to change anything.
And in the work that we've done with the Galactic Federation, when we channel the different beings, you know, one of the things that they've shared is that amongst these other races that are involved that care about the Earth and what's going on the planet, that it's kind of like the metaphor they gave us is, if you think about parents, some parents are really hands-off with their kids and just give them lots of freedom. And then other parents give more direction and more guidance. And so it's just two different ways, perspectives. And so they've told us that in the Federation, there are some races that really want to be totally hands-off and just let everything play out. And then there are others that want to be more hands-on and more involved, but they submit because they are higher vibrational beings and higher consciousness beings. They work together and they submit to one another, and they work out the differences in their thoughts about what should happen. My perception from the channeling we've done is that we're in really good hands and there's nothing to be concerned about at all.
That's what I was talking about. I mean, both parents are right, as you said. One want to participate and other want to actually influence a bit. The only aspect I'm pointing towards is the feeling. When a parent is actually trying to guide a child's experience, if they feel and come from acceptance, the child is perfect in this moment, and then whatever come out of their intuition, they express that. That's a very different guidance compared to, no, you are not enough. You're not good enough in this time. I'm going to make you better by actually giving you this instruction. That's a very different energy. And they look similar to people when they look at things, but if you can truly feel, there's a very different spectrum to those energies.
One comes from fear and judgment, and the other comes
from love.
Other
comes from Exactly. So total acceptance of this moment. It doesn't mean that you're not going to say or do anything, but you're absolutely comfortable with this moment, with this person, how they are this time. And if anything comes from your intuition, express it. Nothing comes, there is no need to.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
more intuition and heart-based approach rather than like, there's something wrong, I have to correct the timelines and all. You are being a doer there. You're taking too much responsibility on yourself while you do not have much in control in a sense. And which is okay. It's an experience. I totally understand them, but it's my message to them because I need to not just express this to earth beings. It's a lesson for all the observing parties as well, because they are in a matrix as well. They feel they are not, but they are part of a bigger matrix as well. They have to see that. So earth is teaching them as much they are coming here to teach earth. It's a give and take, essentially.
Yeah, I agree. And a big part of my ego programming is to be overly responsible for others. And that comes from, and I would imagine it's probably the same in some of your backgrounds, but particularly for women, that they are the nurturers, the caregivers, the mothering, the children, and the husbands, and just kind of taking care of everybody's emotional state. So that's like really heavy programming for me.
It's attachment to the doer that I do that it's my responsibility to do. It's just the attachment to the doer.
One of the things that my higher self told me is for a sense of over responsibility kills childlike faith. So to be mindful, not to feel responsible for anybody's perceptions or journeys.
Exactly. So in a way, you are absolutely responsible from the holistic sense because everything is going on with your will in one way, if you look from that viewpoint. And other viewpoint, which is wisdom viewpoint, you're responsible for nothing because nothing exists as such. It's all your imagination. There's nothing to be responsible of. You're just playing a part in a bigger tapestry. And the part is to experience, not to be responsible, to experience being there, just to be present. But again, as I said earlier, I can totally understand Judah when Ange, when I feel you, I do the same because that's part of your story. The all-pervasive consciousness is focusing on Ange to experience a certain story. And that experience entails feeling responsible, feeling this and that. And that's beautiful. So do not ever feel that I have to correct that and this is my part of my programming. Accept the story as it is because you are that and you are beautiful. And if you accept and allow, you'll see who you are in a much bigger sense.
Beautiful. Thank you. I received that. I appreciate that.
So, few questions for Judah. Again, I just want to speak out. So first one is, I feel lately last 1.5 or 2 years, as I was saying earlier, I'm being present and I'm all the time seeing I'm affecting the weather and everything so much. I can actually just change my feeling and I can change the weather like completely, like from sunlight to rain and all. Initially, I was skeptic and now I can feel as I'm in presence of people. For example, if I go to a workplace and all in crowd, if I feel some way, everyone changes around me to quite an extent. So is that something... Is that happening?
Yes, absolutely. And this vessel has also changed the weather, and this is certainly within your reach.
And I was feeling like experimenting on these aspects, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is quite amazing. It's not like I intend to do any of it and all. It's just something that was happening as a byproduct on the side. So I just wanted to validate what it is. Other aspect I want to ask Judah is, from last 1.5, 2 years, there is quite a bit of activity on my head. When I say activity, not thought, I feel that a lot of energy is entering. I feel strong pulsation in my head, almost like, especially when I'm intuitive, when I'm resting in my being, like which I do most of the part of the day, but more at times I'm more into that, at times I'm less into that. And that, like, it's something flow. I mean, it's like head pulsating. And what is it, from Judah's viewpoint?
Judah's saying yes. So my experience of that is energies of other beings, when they come around, the vibration is so high that it impacts your physiology, especially like your nervous system, that you can be running a lot of energy through your nervous system and it can cause that kind of pulsating feel. Sometimes it can cause you to feel warm, It's just a sign for you that there are beings present that are in your immediate auric field affecting your energy. For me, I have to give special care physically from here up because there's so much going on in the throat, third eye, and crown chakras and being visited with all these energies and things. So I have to give special care here. And sometimes I need to actually bring myself out, be more grounded for a little while, get outside, put my feet on the ground, give my physical body a break from the intense energies. The short story is, it's a sign that there are beings that are present that are elevating the vibration in the room. Yeah.
Thank you for that. What I do is normally, if I have to answer anything, and I'm still kind of attuning myself with it, I feel that I'm collecting nobody. I'm not a knower or anything. And when I become a nobody, I just feel something, and the answers and everything just come, like, from the field, what's happening. And when I felt, the answer that was coming was that you are channeling so much energy from the, you can say, center of the galaxy. That's what I felt like. And then you're bringing it to the core of Earth. From there, it's affecting the magnetic aura of the Earth to actually change the older energy, alter the older energy. So and that's one aspect. Like I said, nothing is absolute. You can look at the same thing from multiple viewpoints, and all viewpoints are correct. It's just that from what viewpoint you're looking at something from. So now, thanks for answering that. Other aspect I wanted to talk to you about was, I feel like my next step from here is that I want to bringing people to gathering as well to express, like, look at life from a different viewpoint. So just sharing my being and all. Is that something you reckon is conducive to my life's purpose or anything like that? What Judah thinks, or just follow my heart, irrespectively?
I missed just a bit of that because there was a glitch. Were you saying you were thinking of having gatherings? Is that what you said?
It's like, satsang, as they call it, satsang, like, kind of, gathering people and just sharing my being with them, how they are beautiful, how life is beautiful from another viewpoint.
Yeah, let me ask about that. Yeah, I definitely see this. So what I saw was, that's a big yes. And I see that there's some other young man that you're sitting at a table with at like a restaurant or a coffee shop, and you just share this idea with him about starting a satsang, and that you'll begin with this young man by meeting with him, and then others will begin coming, and it will feel right then when there's 2 or 3 to go ahead and start meeting in this way. One young man that you'll share the idea with, and he'll be all in and just begin from there.
That sounds beautiful. Okay. Follow my heart, as you said, and just see where it takes me as a compass, and do what is necessary.
As you enter into doing this satsang, as the people that come intuitively, that are attracted to you, and then you're going to have like the levels of energy and wisdom that you channel in these gatherings is really going to surprise you. You're going to be really happy and very surprised. What happens is the people, their hunger and their commitment and their desire draw through you really unexpected things, and you'll be really pleased. It'll be good.
Another thing I've noticed lately is people, I don't know, when I interface with them at work life and all, I have felt a lot of them being quite, I don't know, like triggering. I mean, I don't trigger as much now comparatively because I understand who I am quite more now. It has increased quite a bit, and I feel it's more of like them projecting their stuck energy onto me because they can feel that I can dissolve them somehow. So I was just observing that has increased lately and all. So I was just curious to know Judah's viewpoint. Is it like just to dissolve older energies and all in general, or is there any sort of other thing that I need to think of?
The ego feels really threatened. So when people respond that way, it's not really them, as you know, it's their ego feels super threatened because what you're sharing and the level of truth is cracking that mask. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just
kind of scary for them. They're reacting out of unconsciousness, and they don't really know what they're doing exactly.
Oh, yeah. No, that's all good. I'm not affected, like I said, but I was just trying to understand. Okay, it has increased lately. But I think that's because of the intensity of energy these people are experiencing in day-to-day life. It's changing. I can feel the energy change every day, and I can totally understand that if you are not aware, those changes in energy can really, really, rattle the cages, and it's for good in the longer term. It's going to actually, whatever you have to feel it first. So these people are feeling what they have suppressed over years and years. I can totally understand why it is increasing around me, but it's healing as well at the same time. So just curious to ask, Christian.
Yeah, it's kind of like in the States, we have a saying, don't poke the bear. And that comes from, this imagining if there was a bear and you poked the bear, and it would wake up from its hibernation and chase you down and eat you. A lot of what you're doing, and what I do at times as well, is poking the bear. So you're kind of, the words you say or just who you're being, is waking up these old anger, resentment, different things going on with them. But you want to do that. It's important to do that. It doesn't feel, it's not nice to be on the receiving end, but it's still an important one. I was working with a young woman last week, and she was working for me, and I needed to guide her, correct her on some errors that she was making. And I could feel her panic. It almost felt like I was having a panic attack. And when I asked Judah, I said, Judah, whose energy is this? Is it mine? No. Is it so-and-so's? Yes. When I physically feel the energy of another person, then I know that Judah wants me to transform that for them, to take it.
Yes.
It goes back to what Judah said to you earlier. You can look at people and say, I can take that from you. Let me take that. And so there are times where we can take away from people something that they're feeling or going through, and we can literally just dissolve it.
Yeah,
for
I
them.
think I totally can feel that, or especially in last 6 months or in a year, when I've totally come to be peace with my being. It's like I feel saying to everyone, like, not through words, but feeling, that give all your pain to me, everyone, like whole planet, give all your suffering to me. Just send it my way. Just surrender to me. That's what I feel. And that's what Krishna say. I feel like I'm being that, like, that's what I say, like my wife totally understand me now. Like she was a bit like, initially said, like, say, oh, you're narcissist. It's like, I would be narcissist if I would say that you are not God and I am, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying you are not ready to see it, which is okay. It's an experience. I'm open to take all the pain. I'm so like, give everything to me, just surrender to me. And I'm not saying to this body is not talking to you. The all pervasive consciousness is saying that. This is not me as in this body and this person.
I absolutely support that. I mean, there are times Judah has me say things to people as if I am God. And I can hear the voice of my personality of Angie in the background saying, wait a minute,
like,
Judah, too far. But I know in my heart that I'm not.
Yeah.
That it is the I am speaking through me. So when you feel compelled to do it, just do it. And some people won't understand it. Most people won't, but that's okay. It doesn't mean that it's not true. You can take people's pain and you can dispense of it.
Yeah, it's not like you're giving them a savior or you're giving them someone to worship and all. You're just saying that surrender all your worries to me and just be in joy. I'm not a savior, but yeah, if you feel you can't handle your worries, just give them to me.
It's beautiful.
Is there any being that want to come forward via Judah and want to say or give me a message or express anything?
Yeah, let's see. We are Lars of Arcturus, and we are happy to meet you, friend. You are our brother and our comrade. You are in this time transitioning into your cosmic alignment with your cosmic mission. You are understanding it. You are operating in it. Your service to humanity. You are now able to perceive it in light of your larger service in the cosmos to the I am, to Source, Creator, God. You are embodying your fully enlightened state. You are fulfilling your mission, and it is for you also to dream a dream of then how you want to influence on the cosmic stage. Yes? And so continue experiencing and creating these experiences of influencing the earth from your cosmic perspective. You're on track, continue on, and you will receive confirmation as needed. And it is, yes, okay to seek out confirmation. And we are happy to give that to you so that you can keep your orientation. For example, this time here today with us and with Judah is like unto pulling out a compass, holding up the compass, and simply course correcting slightly and being aware, okay, yes, I am headed in the right direction here. And we are happy to serve you in this way. You will be working more and more with the Galactic Federation. There will be members of this federation visiting you to speak with you and collaborate with you about the processes and experiences of Earth. And you will be giving your insight to these enclaves, small groups within the Federation. And we look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
So I had a similar experience of being introduced to the Federation, and I'll just share what my experiences have been in case it helps you. I found that I could just make a plan. I set aside a certain time of the week to connect with the Federation, and I would just sit down in a chair and meditate, and sure enough, they would show up and they would talk to me about different things, discussions that they've had, different concerns or ideas they have about Earth, things they want me to do. the first time I did this, they actually put an implant in my left ear, and I was a little concerned about it. My human self was kind of concerned about it, but I feel good about it.
And how did you know, like, they put an implant? Was it like some sort of dream or something, or like you just know from within that, oh, something has been put in me?
I just heard very, very clearly in my thoughts, we're putting an implant in your left ear.
Is that how you connect? Like, there's a thought in there which you know that it's not your thought, someone is talking to you. Is that how these thoughts appears?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly all of the importance of the implant, but I think it's more of it has a couple of purposes. One of it is for them to keep track of me. So from their perspective, as they're looking at all the energies and dynamics of Earth, just to be aware of where I am. And also they explain that the implant would make it easier for me to understand them and be clear about what they were saying. Almost like like a translation device or something.
Interesting. Sorry, I have a quick question that comes to mind. I know we are gone over the time, so thank you for your patience with me. So I felt like I think a few years ago, I had this connection with Mahavatar Babaji in the sense that I feel him as a friend. You know what I mean? Like someone who is just giving me guidance here and there on things. So never felt him as a guru or anything, to be honest with you. Like, oh, he's a higher being or anything. It's like just a friend. Does Judah see that, or they could? That connection?
Yeah. So what Judah's told me is that it's just like, your friendships on Earth. You just naturally, intuitively feel connected to someone. You like them and you enjoy their company. You make the effort to spend time with them and develop a relationship. It's the same way with these ascended masters and other beings. There's billions of people, of souls that you could be friends with. So the choice is really yours, right? You feel that kind of a natural attraction to Babaji, and he feels attraction to you, and so just keep nurturing that friendship and that relationship.
It's kind of there's a similar kind of energy, and when you have similar energy, it's natural to actually feel each other's presence, because we are all one in the sense. We're not different.
And the choice is really yours. So if you enjoy that, I would say, just keep pursuing and developing that relationship with Babaji and talk to him or invite him in. You can channel any being. You can channel any soul. It's not that there are, some that you can and some that you can't and some that are too good for you to talk to. It's not like that. You can connect with any soul on the planet or off the planet. So it's really a matter of choice, right? So when you go to a party, there's certain people you meet that you just don't feel a connection with them, and they might even give you their phone number, and you would never call them.
You allow certain people and you resist other people because of your energy mismatch or energy commonalities and all.
You use your intuition and you make good choices. And so that's for you, because the possibilities are so limitless of the souls you could talk to and interact with. Then you get to decide, okay, if this Galactic Federation connection is really important to you, you want to nurture that. If you want to do more cosmic work, one of the things that was really a struggle for me in the beginning, and I may have to revisit my decision, but Judah has one agenda and the Galactic Federation has another, completely different agenda. I felt pulled between the two a lot of the time, and I had to sort of decide how I wanted to focus my time and energy.
So it's a matter of a choice for you many times, which as I said, you understand both sides. It's the same thing. You understand both sides, and then you say, okay, what path do I need to take?
Yeah. So, and you'll do the same. You have a choice. Like, I have this time, and do I want to spend this talking to Babaji? Do I want to spend this doing cosmic work with the Galactic Federation?
You choose the experience you want to engage in, essentially.
Right. You have to decide what your priority is for you.
No, I think I have to just tune back into my heart and live moment to moment. I have to just sort out my priorities at the moment.
Because these souls, they have different things that are important to them still. Like even Edgar Casey visited me once, and he was talking to me about picking up his work to carry on parts of his work, which was an honor, right? To offer that. But the thing is, I'm not really passionate about physical healing.
There are a lot of experiences. So you're saying to me, there are many experiences available out there, and and as you refine your energy, you'll get more and more options. Oh, I can do this as well as that, as well as that, and then you have to choose what align with what you want to experience. It's all about the experience.
Exactly. So sometimes I'll ask Edgar for help with somebody if somebody has a issue. But I didn't want to accept his offer to like be a primary channel for him, because that's not really, physical healing is not really my thing so much. I'm blind.
I would say that's really beautiful as well, as a strength, essentially, like where you can understand and you can still say, oh, I do not want to experience it. I want to, probably my priorities lie somewhere else, which is beautiful as well. Yeah. Everything is, yes, I'm in a maze. I'm grown to know my nature. Like, in the last 3 or 4 years, I'm more attuned to my true nature. Earlier, it was all happening. I was still asleep, but I was still listening to my heart. And in the past as well, I never had any trouble making decisions. I was sure every moment what I'm doing, no regret. But I wasn't aware of my nature. You know what I mean? I was in the flow, but not being aware who I am. From last 3-4 years, I've like very clear awareness of my total being when I connect with it, rest in it. So now I totally can understand. And yeah, this call was a thing for me to just connect, and I couldn't find reason why. I just had to come and chat with you.
I'm so glad.
And life is purposeless. There's no reason. We just try to make up things with our mind. Just have to go with the flow.
Well, I'm so glad you did. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's really uplifting for me too. And it really encourages me to be people like you and to know there are really some beautiful souls out there, and we're in good shape. The earth is not in a mess. We're in great. It's so beautiful.
It's part of a beautiful tapestry. It's just a viewpoint that, oh, everything is bad and everything is really, what's going to happen in the future. As you said earlier, and trust that the all-pervasive consciousness is not fooling around. Okay, everything is part of this big tapestry. If you really want to understand it, just be nobody, and you'll know exactly what's going on around. Everything is making sense. But until you are somebody, then just live in the experience. Just trust, and be your best self you can be in every moment, which you already are. Just don't judge yourself. I think that's the only message, if I have to give through you to everyone. The only contribution, the best contribution you can make is just accept yourself truly, wholly as you are in this given moment. Absolutely love yourself, because we judge others from the framework we develop towards us. That's how we judge others. We first judge ourselves with the framework we develop. If you can drop the framework towards yourself, if you can absolutely love yourself, you can't help but love everyone else. It's so easy. Start with yourself.
Agree. That's the life lesson. That's it. All right, brother. I love you so much. I'm so thankful for you. You're a blessing to me and to the earth. I'm
We are all
thankful
one, Ange. Yeah. Just feel it. Feeling is the key.
Yeah. Well, I love you so much, brother. Judah loves you. Call on them anytime. They will be there to help you.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
Yeah. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, beautiful souls. This is Angie Hipple from the Judah channel, and I'm thrilled to share with you something truly extraordinary that has transformed my life, the lives of many people in the Judah family, and countless others around the world. Imagine coming home to a sanctuary of peace and harmony where all the stresses of your day melt away, and your well-being, your physical, mental, and emotional well-being is flourishing. This is the magic of Focus Life Force Energy, FLFE. Judah often refers to the co-founders of FLFE, Jeffrey and Clayton, as the Wright brothers of consciousness, just like the Wright brothers who imagined and then brought to life this incredible, fantastic dream that humans could fly. Jeffrey and Clayton are pioneering a new phenomenon in the realm of human consciousness so that humanity can soar. FLFE creates a high consciousness field around your home, your workplace, your cell phone if you're on the go. It's like having the energies of Machu Picchu and other sacred sites right on your own home, right in your living space. Now, what's truly remarkable about FLFE is this. The typical subscriber gains 30 points in their personal level of consciousness in the first 90 days with FLFE. Now, what does that mean? Why is that so extraordinary? To put this in perspective, Dr. Hawkins' research found that the average person only gains 5 points in a lifetime in their own personal level of consciousness. So to be able to gain 30 points in your personal level of consciousness in just 90 days, well, that's just nothing short of miraculous in my book. This is an incredible acceleration of your personal spiritual growth. Now, as someone who is deeply connected to nature, to music, to the healing arts through psychic and channeling gifts, I have experienced firsthand the profound effects of FLFE. It mitigates harmful EMFs. It turns down the volume of all the psychic noise that I hear from the many thousands of people that live around me in my home in the city. It supports better sleep, better health, clearer thinking. It also helps to clear any negative energies or historical imprints on my home, on your home, any ancestral negative karmic baggage on the property that might be associated with the land or the buildings. What I love most about FLFE is that it aligns with my personal journey with Judah, and it supports all the work that I do with you and with Judah in high consciousness fields. It's creating an environment to nurture my growth and my health, and it can do the same for you. Now, I'm sharing with you about FLFE today, not because I need your money. I don't. And FLFE does not need your money. I'm sharing it with you because I really believe that it's going to help your spiritual growth process and support you in a way that you deserve. You're here because you want to grow. That's the whole reason you're here at the Judah channel. You're here because you are learning to be an infinite, supreme creator being. You want to create a beautiful, high vibe, conscious life for yourself and all those that you care about. And that's why I'm sharing FLFE with you. FLFE has been a transformative blessing in my life. It's created an environment that supports all the beautiful work that I do with Judah and each one of you. It's been so key for me that I've bought it for all of my adult children and grandchildren. I give it to them every year as a gift. I wouldn't want them to live without it. Now, FLFE offers two amazing services. There's FLFE property for your home, and there's FLFE everywhere on the go support. You can assign it to your cell phone. You can assign it to a piece of jewelry or a special object like your watch, something that you always have with you. You can try both of these services for free. It's a fully immersive service. It's a trial of 15 days. You do not have to give your credit card, and you do not have to cancel in order to avoid being charged at the end of that 15-day trial period. There are no strings attached. And if you have questions about the service and how it's working or how to best utilize it, or if anything's going on with you during that trial and you're not sure, you need some support, there's always a real person that answers the phone at FLFE to answer your questions about your property, your level of consciousness, what you're experiencing with the service. The customer service is amazing. Thank you for listening. We are here for you with infinite love and infinite possibilities, and I hope you'll make FLFE a support for you in all of that. We love you. Check out the link below. Tell them Judah sent you. See you soon.